Anger is one of the evil whispers of Shaytaan, which leads to so many evils and tragedies, of which only Allah knows the full extent. For this reason Islam has a great deal to say about this bad characteristic, and the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, described cures for this disease, and ways to limit its effects, among which are the following. 1. Seeking refuge with Allah from the Shaytaan. Sulaiman ibn Sa'd said, I was sitting with the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, and two men were slandering one another. One of them was red in the face, and the veins on his neck were standing out. The Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, I know a word which, if he were to say it, what he feels would go away. If he said, I seek refuge with Allah from the Shaytaan, what he feels, example, his anger, would go away. The Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, if a man gets angry and says, I seek refuge with Allah, his anger will go away. 2. Keeping silent. The Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, if any of you becomes angry, let him keep silent. This is because in most cases, the angry person loses self-control and could utter words of kufr, disbelief, from which we seek refuge with Allah, or curses, or the word of divorce talaq, which would destroy his home, or words of slander which would bring him the enmity and hatred of others. So, in short, keeping silent is the solution which helps one to avoid all that. 3. Not moving. The Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, if any of you becomes angry and he is standing, let him sit down, so his anger will go away. If it does not go away, let him lie down. The narrator of this hadith report is Abu Dar, may Allah be pleased with him, and there is a story connected to his telling of it. He was taking his camels to drink at a trough that he owned, when some other people came along and said to one another, who can compete with Abu Dar in bringing animals to drink, and make his hair stand on end? A man said, I can, so he brought his animals and competed with Abu Dar, with the result that the trough was broken. Example, Abu Dar was expecting help in watering his camels, but instead the man misbehaved and caused the trough to be broken. Abu Dar was standing, so he sat down, then he laid down. Someone asked him, O Abu Dar, why did you sit down then lie down? He said, the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, and quoted the hadith. According to another report, Abu Dar was watering his animals at the trough, when another man made him angry, so he sat down. Among the benefits of this advice given by the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, is the fact that it prevents the angry person from going out of control, because he could strike out and injure someone, or even kill, as we will find out shortly, or he could destroy possessions and so on. Sitting down makes it less likely that he will become overexcited, and lying down makes it even less likely that he will do something crazy or harmful. Al-Allama al-Khattabi, may Allah have mercy on him, said in his commentary on Abu Dawood, one who is standing is in a position to strike and destroy, while the one who is sitting is less likely to do that, and the one who is lying down can do neither. It is possible that the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, told the angry person to sit down or lie down so that he would not do something that he would later regret. And Allah knows best. 4. Following the advice of the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported that a man said to the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, advise me. He said, do not become angry. The man repeated his request several times, and each time the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, told him, do not become angry. According to another report, the man said, I thought about what the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, and I realized that anger combines all kinds of evil. 5. Do not become angry and paradise will be yours. Remembering what Allah has promised to the righteous, muttaqeen, who keep away from the causes of anger and struggle within themselves to control it, is one of the most effective ways of extinguishing the flames of anger. One of the ahadith that describe the great reward for doing this is, whoever controls his anger at the time when he has the means to act upon it, Allah will fill his heart with contentment on the day of resurrection. Another great reward is described in the Prophet's words, whoever controls his anger at the time when he has the means to act upon it, Allah will call him before all of mankind on the day of resurrection, and will let him choose of the Hur al-Lin whoever he wants. 6. Knowing the high status and advantages offered to those who control themselves. The Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, the strong man is not the one who can overpower others in wrestling, rather, the strong man is the one who controls himself when he gets angry. The greater the anger, the higher the status of the one who controls himself. The Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, the strongest man is the one who, when he gets angry and his face reddens and his hackles rise, is able to defeat his anger. Anas reported that the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, passed by some people who were wrestling. He asked, what is this? They said, so-and-so is the strongest, he can beat anybody. The Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, shall I not tell you who is even stronger than him? The man who, when he is mistreated by another, controls his anger, has defeated his own Shaytaan and the Shaytaan of the one who made him angry. 7. Following the Prophet's example in the case of anger. The Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, is our leader and has set the highest example in this matter, as is recorded in a number of ahadith. One of the most famous was reported by Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, who said, I was walking with the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, and he was wearing a Najrani cloak with a rough collar. A Bedouin came and seized him roughly by the edge of his cloak, and I saw the marks left on his neck by the collar. Then the Bedouin ordered him to give him some of the wealth of Allah that he had. The Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, turned to him and smiled, then ordered that he should be given something. Another way in which we can follow the example of the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, is by making our anger for the sake of Allah, when his rights are violated. This is the kind of anger which is praiseworthy. So the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, became angry when he was told about the Imam who was putting people off the prayer by making it too long, when he saw a curtain with pictures of animate creatures in Arish's house, when Usama spoke to him about the Makhzumi woman who had been convicted of theft, and he said, do you seek to intervene concerning one of the punishments prescribed by Allah? When he was asked questions that he disliked, and so on. His anger was purely for the sake of Allah. 8. Knowing that resisting anger is one of the signs of righteousness taqwa. The righteous, al-muttaqun, are those praised by Allah in the Quran and by His Messenger, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. Paradise as wide as heaven and earth has been prepared for them. One of the characteristics is that they, interpretation of the meaning, spend, in Allah's cause, in prosperity and in adversity, they, repress anger, and they, pardon men, verily, Allah loves al-Muhsinin, the good doers. These are the ones whose good character and beautiful attributes and deeds Allah has mentioned, and whom people admire and want to emulate. One of the characteristics is that interpretation of the meaning. When they are angry, they forgive. 9. Listening to reminders. Anger is a part of human nature, and people vary in their anger. It may be difficult for a man not to get angry, but sincere people will remember Allah when they are reminded, and they will not overstep the mark. Some examples follow. Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, reported that a man sought permission to speak to Umar ibn al-Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him. Then he said, O son of al-Khattab, you are not giving us much and you are not judging fairly between us. Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, was so angry that he was about to attack the man, but Al-Har ibn Qais, who was one of those present, said, O Amir al-Mu'minin, Allah said to his prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, interpretation of the meaning, show forgiveness, enjoin what is good, and turn away from the foolish. This man is one of the foolish. By Allah, Umar could go no further after Al-Har had recited this ayah to him, and he was a man who was careful to adhere to the Book of Allah.